So why does sharing your best content online for free feel so wrong, but could be the key to unlocking your creative online business success? Well, in this video, I'm going to dive into the paradox which so many creatives face, the hesitation to share information that they've worked so hard on. But first, have you ever wondered why creators hold back such valuable information? And it's mainly driven by a large part of fear. There's a fear that if I share too much information, then what am I going to have left, right? If I share all my best information, then if I make a product or a course, no one's going to pay for that if I've given away all that information for free. There's another real fear that if I share information or that's really valuable or overshare, that someone is going to steal that information and then go and do exactly what I'm doing, just replicating the things that I'm saying. Now, I know from my own personal experience of doing this stuff online that this is not actually the case. Neither of these two statements or these fears are actually true. Now, why does sharing your best information feel so wrong, but it is so right to do? Now, I want to share with you two critical points. In today's online space, it's extremely overcrowded in all of these different industries. So something like YouTube, if you upload videos, you're competing against a lot of people who are doing exactly what you're doing. So in essence, there's a lot of competition to try and grab those viewers or that audience and keep them engaged through your content. Now, you're even lucky if those people even end up watching your videos. But drip feeding content or small tips and tricks may have worked 10 years ago, but it's simply just not going to work now. People need more. If they're only going to see a very small amount of your content, you want to make sure that that content is super valuable to them. You want to make sure that they're getting as much value from that content as they possibly can. So instead of just sharing tips and tricks with people, you want to lead with your best and most valuable content. And this will help you do two things. One, it's going to help your content stand out over those people who are making more low-level content like the tips and tricks style stuff. The other thing is that the people who implement or watch that information and then implement it are going to gain a lot more value and build a deeper connection with you and your brand. Now, this is really important because when you actually come to selling products or you've got courses, or even if you just want them to watch more of your content on YouTube, then building that foundation in that relationship is really, really important and critical if you want to be successful on social media in this age. When I first started, I used to believe that sharing all of my best information with people or my best value would diminish my brand or my value to people. In actual fact, it was the complete opposite. I realized that by holding back, people were not getting that real value from the information that I was sharing because it was really hard to see results from implementing things like tips and tricks. It feels wrong to overshare your most valuable information with people, but when someone gains something from implementing that information, then they're much more likely to come back. And even if they don't, you're going to leave a really positive experience or impression on that person or that individual around your brand. So in the future, if they're ever looking for more information around that topic, then they're more likely to come back and visit you. Or even if they're talking to someone, they're more likely to recommend your channel to someone else. Have you ever wondered how sharing your creative process with people online can foster a deeper connection with someone? Consider the transparency of sharing valuable information with someone. If you think about the way that you take in information, so if you've watched YouTube videos, for instance, even this video, if someone's only sharing basic information with you like a tip or a trick, you might find that useful. But you always feel as the audience that you're not quite getting all the information that's required, or you're never quite sure what to do with that information, right? Because it's always in little bits and pieces. You want your audience to feel like they really understand what you're saying or they're connecting with what you're saying. Now, obviously, all the stuff that I talk about on this channel, for instance, helping creatives start their online businesses. You need to take all this information that I'm saying and actually go out there and implement these things. Now, all of this takes time, but it also requires you to have the right plan and action moving forward. Now, if you want to learn more about this whole process, then I've created a free mini workshop, which you can watch. There'll be a link down in the description below. And in that, I walk you through from the absolute basics, how to actually validate an audience, come up with an idea, and then launch your first digital product. So if you're unsure how to actually implement a lot of this information, then check out my free mini workshop down below. Now, how does sharing information actually lead to more demand in your product? So the bottom line that you might be trying to get people to move towards, or the end goal, is to actually buy a product from you. Now, there's two ways that I like to think about this. You could go out and just market or try and run an ad to sell your product. Now, someone who doesn't know anything about you, when they first see that ad, I mean, even you can think about your own experience of going on social media and seeing ads pop up. It's really hard to get that genuine sort of information across to someone through an ad, right? It always feels like you're just being directly sold to. Now, our job as creators is not just to try and sell to people all the time. And we also don't want to try and hoodwink people or mislead people into buying one of our products. The idea is that if you create that deeper connection through information, so people actually feel like you've shared something with them, they've implemented that information, and they really feel like they've gained something, then they're more likely to want to work with you on a much deeper level. Now, that may involve buying or signing up to one of your courses, or downloading one of your free lead magnets, or even downloading some of your free content. This is the best form of marketing that you can possibly ever do, because you're not directly selling to people. You are offering a value of exchange, and in return, those people are more likely to go through and actually end up buying your product. Even in my own Flatpack Effects channel, I make tutorials, as you probably already know from being on this channel for any period of time. I basically make free tutorials on how to make certain animations and video effects. Now, the revenue that I generate from the back end of that is through course sales. So I'm implementing this exact strategy of giving away really valuable information to people, showing them the process of how I actually go through and make something. Now, as those people learn more and more and more, some of them, not all of them, but some of them are going to want to go even further. And that's where my paid products come into it. By providing practical knowledge and solutions to people, you empower your audience to achieve their goals. And this in turn builds credibility and trust that you are a trustful source and someone that they're possibly willing to invest into. Now, again, if you're just starting out, or even if you have a social media following and you're just looking at trying to build your online creative business, then watch my free mini workshop down in the description below. You can also watch this video over here next, and that's going to walk you through how you can actually build out your first course or your first mini course, get it up online and start selling. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.